Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Naomi and I create travel content on YouTube to inspire you to travel the world. If you haven't figured out already, I love traveling and I also have a full-time job like most of you do. And that gets me questions like, how do I manage to travel so often? Don't I need to work? How do I have so many days off? To start off, I'm entitled to 20 days of annual leave at my current company. According to Malaysia's Employment Act, there's a minimum of between 8 to 16 days of annual leave that has to be granted to employees based on their years of service with the same employer. So I'm really curious to know how many annual leaves per year are you entitled to in your country? Let me know down in the comments because it's really interesting to see the differences. But no matter the quantity, you can still work your way around traveling while having a full-time job. Before I start, you guys know I love to eat and my sister just sent me some croffles. I'm really excited because recently I've been on a croffle craze. If you guys don't know what a croffle is, it's basically a croissant waffle. Did I pronounce that right? Okay, so I have 10 tips for you which I will share while eating the croffle. For the first tip, it's to plan ahead. Every year end, say November, start blocking off your calendar of the next year with all the public holidays. That is definitely what I do every November as I start gearing up for my travel plans next year. By doing so, you will get the overview of how your calendar for the next year will look like, and then you can plan when to utilize your annual leave. Then think about where you want to go for your short and long trips. And if you need tips on how to pick your next travel destination, I actually have a video which I will link below in the description. For longer trips, it's good to start planning early so you can start applying for your leave ASAP, because who knows if you want the same dates as your colleagues in like a high demand period. So you snooze, you lose. Ooh, can you see it? Look at them. This is the Injeolmi flavor and this is the strawberry flavor. Injeolmi, I think it's like a Korean glutinous sweet dessert. Okay, first I'm gonna try the Injeolmi. This was stuck in traffic for over an hour and it still has the crunch and it still tastes really good. Tip number 2 is to utilize your weekend or long weekends to go on shorter, nearer to home trips. This will help you to save time from traveling and you can go and relax with a peace of mind without rushing, chasing for time. Tip number 3 is to extend your long weekends. So you already have a 3-day weekend, but make it a 4 or a 5-day weekend, or take the entire week off. This is one of my favorite things to do. In fact, my friends always wonder how I can travel so much as if I have 60 days worth of annual leave. But really, I just have a lot of public holidays and I plan them really well and I extend all of them. Well, Malaysia has a lot of public holidays to begin with. That's a perk we get from having different races and religions in Malaysia. We get to enjoy each other's holiday. Anyway, just add a day or two on top of your long weekend and go somewhere further. I usually like taking Friday and Monday off just because I get to leave on Thursday evening and arrive back on Monday. Tip number 4 is to use annual leave in between weekends and public holidays. This tip is similar to tip number 3, but it's slightly different in the sense where the public holiday falls in the middle of the week. These are my least favorite type of holidays because it means I have to utilize more of my annual leave. I'm quite stingy and calculative with my annual leave, if you can't already tell. But sometimes you just gotta do it. If the public holiday falls on a Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, just take 1 or 2 days off and make it a long weekend. Transformers. What powder is this? This powder reminds me of the Japanese kinako powder, but I don't think it is. Oh, it is. Injeolmi powder is roasted soybean powder, also known as kinako in Japanese. I'm right. So cultured. Tip number 5 is to fly at night and arrive in the morning. When you're traveling with a full-time job, you need to milk every single second of your time off for travel. If you're taking a flight, take an evening or a night flight so that you can sleep through the night and arrive fresh-faced in the morning. And you're on your way to explore the new destination, provided you must sleep though. As you're returning, take a flight which the arrival time is in the morning so you can head to work straight away. Although I don't really like doing that because I need some time to unwind and unpack and like mentally prepare myself to get to work. But I do know some people who get straight to work right after their flight. So if that floats your boat. Tip number 6 is going on work trips. Work trips. It's something that I've only got to experience once, and I'm so jealous to know that some of my friends actually have to travel to attend meetings abroad. If you're presented with this opportunity to travel abroad for a work trip, take it. It's an all expense paid trip. Why wouldn't you take it? Your accommodation, flight and food will be all covered by your company, and you get to explore the city after work hours. And after your work has been completed, just extend your stay. You will have to pay for your accommodation and your food, but at least the first few days have already been covered. Plus, your flight is also covered. You will most likely just have to pay for the differences in the cost of your flight ticket, but if you're lucky and there's no price difference, jackpot! Otherwise, the differences wouldn't cost a lot anyway. So this was exactly what I did when my work had an annual convention and team building in Hanoi in 2019. So I extended my stay by 5 days to explore Sapa and also Hanoi on my own, and that was Tip number 7 is to work remotely if you can. Working remotely is a concept that is more common now since the pandemic began. Truth be told, many office jobs don't actually need you to be physically present. It's just something that extroverts made up for the sake of team spirit. Sure, it's nice to meet my colleagues from time to time, but I don't think it's essential to be clustered together and frequently bothered and spending so much money on lunch and spending so much time on the road traveling. Okay, let's not spiral. If your company has this option of working remotely even after the pandemic, you can make use of this flexibility. But for a start, you might want to pick a place where the time zone is the same as where your office is located at, so that you can reply emails, send out reports, and attend meetings at the office hours. Okay, before I start my favorite point, which is point number 8, let me first try the strawberry croffle. I'm so excited for this one because I love strawberry flavored things. I actually really want a strawberry milkshake right now, but milkshake is a no-no for me right now. So for this, there's like strawberry chunks, and also I think this is like cream cheese and some icing sugar which has already melted off. I love the crunch. I guess the reason why I love croffles so much is because, you know, waffles, it gets soggy once it's cold, but a croffle doesn't. It's still crunchy and flaky like a croissant. I like that there's this sourness from the strawberry, so it's like sweet and sour. Yums. Okay, so point number 8. This is one of the best things that you can do if you have a full-time job and your friends have a full-time job and it's so hard to accommodate to each other. Go on a solo trip. The beauty of solo traveling is that there is no waiting needed. No need to compare calendars to see if days off coincide, no need to compromise on taking days off, or when is the best time to travel, or what is the best season to travel in, or where to travel to. Oh my gosh, this emphasizes why I love fuss-free solo traveling so much. With solo traveling, you can make more spontaneous trips, which makes traveling with a full-time job even more feasible. See? You win. Okay, you might hear some dripping sounds at the back because my air conditioner is kind of faulty right now and it's dripping water, and the uncle is supposed to come and repair it this week, but he didn't. So tip number 9 is to take a sabbatical leave, also called an unpaid leave. Take some time off. Some of us just need more than a continuous 2 weeks off. I totally get that. While traveling, you don't want to be thinking of the work that you're going back to. So ask your manager for a sabbatical leave of a month or 2. I even read that some companies give up to a year's worth of unpaid leave. So check with your company on their policies if this interests you. Then you're free to travel the world. Fun fact, I'm actually on a 3-month sabbatical leave right now, but joke's on me because Malaysia is still restricted in terms of domestic and international traveling. So I've just been making travel videos here from my room. But that's okay. It was more for my mental health, which I'll talk about it in the future if you guys are interested. Or head over to my blog where I'm more open with my thoughts there. I blog mostly about travel and also self-awareness, which includes my mental state and how I'm feeling. So go check it out if you're interested. The 10th and final tip. Quit your job. Okay, this one is pretty radical, but YOLO! Do what makes you happy while also being responsible for yourself. Don't go quitting your job when you have no savings at all. That's pretty stupid. Have some money for your travel plans, but also have some additional savings so you don't come home broke while you're waiting for your next job. You could also do some freelance work on the side while you're traveling, but really it's easier said than done because freelance work is actually very highly competitive. But when there's a will, there's a way. Perhaps this tip of quitting your job to travel is more for like single unmarried people because of the commitment. So yeah, don't take this tip at face value, evaluate your situation and see what's best for you. So those are the 10 tips for all of you who want to travel more while having a full-time job. I always believe that if you work hard, you also gotta play hard. And in times when you just can't seem to tear yourself away from work, but at the same time you find yourself complaining that you don't get to travel much, force yourself to go on a holiday. If you have any questions about traveling, you can leave them down in the comment section and I will answer them. Give this video a thumbs up if you found these tips to be helpful and subscribe to this channel for more travel content. Oh, and also let me know how many annual leaves are you entitled to per year.